All right. So we good over here. We good over here. All right. Now we cooking with gas. When I'm ready a beef, that's why I'm the light. I got the fire. Hey. Woo. Listen to that part. Listen to that part. Okay, we're gonna leave it at that. All right, all right. Francisca Aguayo coming to you live and in living color. I am here on your Mind Your Mind workshop, and really, what I want to invite you all today is to this specific mastermind class that I'm going to be giving, and it's about the 15 invaluable laws of growth. Now, when John C. Maxwell wrote this book, and I read this book for the first time, his book had me in tears. And the transformation was so serious that I actually fell in love with the work and went and got my certification to be able to lead the work. So I actually am a coach, a speaker, a facilitator for the John C. Maxwell team. And I want to be able to do this mastermind class because I believe in it so much. I know that it changed my life. I know that I was able to transform and I was able to see things in a personal level that helped me in my personal character, that also helped me in my professional character. It also helped me in my corporate America job, my career, in my entrepreneurship, in my relationships with people, with everyone. It's like this book really did change my life, and I want to share with you all a little bit about that, about the book tonight and the mastermind class. And if it's something that you think that, hey, that's me, I want to grow deeper, I'm ready for that. I'm offering an intimate, so it's intimate small. I'm offering an intimate small mastermind class, and the most I'm going to be able to fit in is 12. The minimum is 8. And the reason I say that is because I want to be able to work on a one-on-one group, small group. And when you have other masterminds in the class, you get to gleam off of other people. You get to um, also the vibration. You vibe off of each other. Something can open up in someone's conversation that will trigger something in your brain to come up with something else. And it's just amazing how it's a beautiful orchestra and you get a beautiful symphony and you get to grow. So the class is 7 weeks long. It's one day a week. We spend about 90 minutes together and we do the work. We do it together. We read the book at home. So the book is called The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. It's by John C. Maxwell. My book, I'm in my office and my book is downstairs because I actually do this in person as well in my bag that I just came from. So here's the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. That's what it's called by John C. Maxwell. And if you don't know who he is, Google. He's amazing. He is the GOAT in personal and professional development. He was a pastor he is a pastor, but he had a church for 25 years. And he's just also done such amazing work within corporate America that he came out with his own certification. So I am certified to teach his work. And in the mastermind class, what we're going to do is to break down this book. We're going to be able to go through each law. So each class we go through 2 laws and we break it down. So you get exclusive PowerPoints that no one else has. There's no access to YouTube or anything like that. You have to have a license and be certified to teach the work to be able to have access to these PowerPoints, these videos, and everything that I'm going to share with you, even the PDF. So you'll receive this in the PDF, which is each meeting for each law, and you'll be able to fill it out while you are in the mastermind class or not. You'll get the blank ones, and you also get the ones that have the answers in it. So why this is so important is because I see a lot of people say that they want to be, they want to be, they want to be. I want to do, I want to do, I want to do. That's what I always hear. I want to be and I want to do. I want to be an entrepreneur and I want to do this, that. Okay. And I also remember, because I was one of them, that I was reading a lot of leadership uh, books, and I was learning how to be a leader, and leaders do this and leaders do that, and so many books, the 5 a.m. Club, so many books, right? It was reading on doing, right? I'm trying to think about this one that I remember this one. I did the journal of it, and I can't remember the name of it. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, like all those books, right? And it was talking about doing and doing and doing, and I wasn't being. So what I learned was that I'm not a human doing, I'm a human being. And instead of doing, I need to be. And the 15 invaluable laws of growth was some place that I was able to grow and I was able to be. So the first law I want to share with you, I'm going to share with you the first law today, and hopefully it will intrigue you to want to learn more. And then you can be able to register for the next mastermind class, which is going to be starting in a couple of weeks. So the first law is called the law of intentionality. The law of intentionality means that growth doesn't just happen, right? A lot of times we think, oh, you know, you're this old, you should know better. No, it's not because you age that maturity and knowledge and wisdom comes along with that. There's some pretty older people that are aged and are not mature at all. They not, sis, you know, you've seen them at the cookout, and you got no business wearing what you're wearing, bro. You 62, right? Skinny jeans not for you. It's just, you know, the intentionality of growing is someone really working on themselves, grooming themselves, not just allowing time to pass. I came to this conclusion when someone asked me, um, did I know how to ride a bike? And I said, no, I don't know how to ride a bike. They said, yeah, you playing, right? I said, no, I'm not. They said, but you never learned how to ride a bike when you was a little girl. I was like, no, no one ever taught me how to ride a bike when I was a little girl. So therefore, I never learned how to ride a bike. So if someone don't teach you, you don't learn. There was no intentionality about me learning how to ride a bike. Therefore, I didn't know how to ride a bike, and I was a grown up, a whole grown adult. So the intention is necessary. So personal growth is not a natural process. And you don't naturally learn how to tie your shoes. You don't naturally learn how to ride a bike. You have to be intentional. You really don't even naturally learn how to use the bathroom. Because if you don't get potty trained, you'll be in a diaper your whole life, right? Right? So intentionality. That's the first law. Isn't that amazing how the first law is intentionality? And the reason I say it's amazing is because here in the Mind Your Mind workshop, one of the first things I teach you is the 5 A's. How to have awareness, right? Become aware of the situation, become aware of the habit, become aware of sense of awareness. We acknowledge it, right? We got to say, yeah, it's there. I see it. I see the weight. I see the wrinkle. I see what's missing, right? You got to acknowledge it. And then you got to accept it. This is what it is. And this is what we're going to do. And this is what it is. It's the what so. Then you adjust accordingly. Those are the 5 A's. When you adjust accordingly, you pivot. We don't need to focus on the emotion of it, on the boo-hooing and complaining and remaining about it. We get to follow the 5 A's and we get to make moves. That's beautiful, right? So that's the intentionality. You bring you bring the intention with the 5 A's. You're gonna have no choice but to be on your A game. No pun intended, but that's the truth, right? So I'm gonna share with you in this law. When you come to the mastermind class, you'll get these. I'll email them to you without the answers and with the answers, so you can have both. I'm not gonna go through the whole. Maybe I don't know. Let's see how much time we have left. We don't, because I know me. I'm only gonna go to the second section of this because actually, this is something that you would receive only in the mastermind class, along with exclusive videos and PowerPoint presentations from John C. Maxwell that only someone like myself who is certified to do the work has access to. And plus my awesome coaching. You're going to have that as well for those 7 weeks that we'll be together. And in the 7 weeks, we'll cover the whole 15 laws. Okay. But today I want to gift you this free law because really this law goes right in alignment with anything that you want to do in your life is intentionality. A lot of people say, I've been meaning to get a passport. I've been meaning to lose weight. I've been meaning to someday. And first of all, someday is not on the calendar. Sunday is, but not someday. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, not someday. So there's no intention of putting it on the calendar, it's not gonna go nowhere. It's not gonna grow. You're not gonna be able to fulfill that goal. But you're beating yourself up. Why? It's not your fault. You didn't do anything. Nothing. All the things that you didn't, all the things that you knew to do, you didn't do. You did nothing. So all you gotta do is look at what's missing and then find it and go fix it. That's it. Be intentional. The law of intentionality. Growth doesn't just happen. Goals doesn't just happen. So I'm not going to kick a dead horse with that. But the second part of the law meeting, the second part is called growth traps. So in the book, he talks about growth traps. And in the video, you'll see it'll make a lot more sense when you come join us in the mastermind class. But for the time being, I still want to share with you because this work is worth me sharing. The growth traps, the growth gap traps are this. There's an assumption gap. This is really good because we just spoke about this. I assume that I will automatically grow. Why would I assume that? I don't know. But some people really assume that they will just automatically grow. The assumption gap. But it's funny how it says the assumption because assume. How can you assume such a thing? And when you assume, you know what it means. You know what it does, right? It makes an ass out of you and me. Don't assume. But you assume that you automatically grow. That happens a lot in corporate America. A lot of people assume you know what you're doing. There's such a lack of personal development and growth, personal and professional growth, training, and development in the workplace that people just walk around assuming everybody knows what they're doing. And therefore, I assumed you did, and they just point fingers and who shot John. It's a huge missing in the corporate America. The assumption gap. The second one is the knowledge gap. I know, the knowledge gap. I don't know how. I don't know how to grow. I don't know how. I don't know how to grow. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to do. How many times have you heard yourself say, I don't know how? Prime example, I have a client that saw me 2 weeks, right? And she saw me and she was scheduled for 2 weeks. So I saw her again. And with the first session, I gave her some instructions and I told her I told her where to go, how to get it done. So when she comes back to me and I asked about the situation that she was supposed to do, I said, did you get this done? She said, no. I said, why not? What happened? I want to know what happened. Something could have came up, right? What happened? She said, I just don't know how that works. I said, okay, but I told you how it works. I explained it to you. And I told you what you had to do in order to receive it, right? But I want you to see that how fear is, right? And when we're not personally developed, the knowledge gap of I don't know how that works froze her, and she stood stuck for 2 weeks on I don't know how that works. But she never took the intentionality, right, to get up and go to the place where I sent her to obtain the information that she needed so that she would be able to know how it works. So this girl stood stuck for 2 weeks, just stuck in her mind. And not only in her mind, she stood stuck. This was something that was going to be able to give her $900 to pay her bills. and she stood stuck on not knowing how that works. So why didn't you see? It's what your mind does, it's what your brain does to you. It's the knowledge gap. But being someone who's developed, someone who has the tools, I can see that as a learning opportunity. With me, that would not have stopped me because I got the tools. I got the 5 A's that we spoke about, right? What are the 5 A's? The 5 A's is what we go over every workshop. The 5 A's is the first A is awareness. We become aware of our surroundings, become aware of our attitudes, become aware of our attributes, become aware of our aura, of everything. We become aware, all of it, of everything that's going on. We acknowledge it when we see something that's not the way it's supposed to be, or it's missing. We acknowledge it. We become aware. We acknowledge it. We accept it. We don't justify it. We fix it. We adjust accordingly, and we pivot. And with those 5 A's, you're good. That and the thanks system, there's nothing else that you really need besides Jesus. Of course, he's number one. Okay. And that was given to me by the Holy Ghost, those 5 A's, so that don't get it twisted. Okay. Because I know y'all be out there looking for just lurking. The time gap. So there's a timing gap. The timing gap. It's not the right time. How many times have we said that? It's not the right time. The kids are little. I can't do that right now. I'm working. I got the kids. I can't afford to do another evening. You can't afford not to. You can't afford not to. Because the knowledge and the tools and the understanding and the breakthroughs, I'm talking about years of chains that have been wrapped around your mind, will break in this mastermind. Because thinking about the knowledge gap, if I'm thinking about the knowledge gap, what I would look at in the tools that I give with the 5 A's, right? Then I would look at the system and I would go to my system, my thanks system, the thoughts, the habits, the action, the nourishment, the knowledge, and the spirituality. So I would look at the whole entire system and I would see what is it in my thoughts that's not right. See, because using the system, I teach you how to learn to identify, to become aware and acknowledge and accept who is it that's speaking, who's driving, right? Are you driving towards your destination, or are you driving towards the wall that's going to self-sabotage you and crash you? Those are the tools that we learn in the workshop, and those are the tools that we learn so that we can be able to apply these laws. See, these laws are applicable. A law is not just something that's nice and no, it's applicable. It is what it is, and when you use it, it works for you. It works for you. Okay, so the timing gap is not the right time. That's a mindset. Because one time I remember I did this exercise with someone, one of my clients. They said, I don't have the time. I have so much going on. And if you heard her speak, you would really think, no, you know what, coach, she really does have a lot going on. When we did a certain exercise that we did together, we found out that she was doing less than 40 hours a work week. And I said, if you were working 40 hours a week, you would have to do all this at this time, right? Because she was trying to become an entrepreneur from transitioning from corporate America. I said, so if this is gonna be 30 hours, you can't tell me that you can't do this because you was working a 40-hour work week. And if we look at the calendar and we look at the hours and we make a decision and we decide that the timing is going to be this today at 7:00, every Monday, 7:30, we do a workshop. We put that in our calendar. Our world has to work around that calendar because you made a decision. If you were to say you're going to get married July 15th, come hell or high water, nothing else you would put on your calendar for July 15th. We decide. It's making a decision. So the timing gap, it's not the right time to begin. You just begin. You just begin, and once you're doing it and you're feeling it and you're being it, you're going to figure it out. Stop being so worried about it all being perfect. And that's going to lead me into number 4, the mistake gap. I'm afraid of making a mistake. I'm afraid of making a mistake. Don't be afraid of failures or mistakes because they give you clues and they help you refine. Take one, take two, take three, take 123 to make a movie and it hits a blockbuster. But you don't know how many times Jennifer Lopez had to take 5 just to do that one scene that she twisted her lip. I mean, it'd be the most ridiculous ones, right? When you see the little bloopers that they give, you'll be like, man, it took them that long. It took them 52 takes because they wouldn't stop laughing. Things like that. You gotta and give your. You know what? It's not even that you have to or got to. We we get to give ourselves grace. We get to embrace grace the same way we embrace a growth mindset. We allow ourselves to have no no grace for ourselves. It's like the world is hard on us and we copy the world. No, no. The culture can say whatever they want to say. I'm going to give myself grace. I'm going to look at myself as brave, bold, and authentic. And so what? So what if the lighting wasn't right? So what if I misspelled the word? I'm not a good speller. I'll tell you that in a minute. But that don't mean nothing. It don't break me or make me. I know what I got. I know the gift is inside of me. So if you're afraid to make mistakes, no one's ever going to be able to see your gift. And your gift wasn't meant for you. Your gift was meant for the world. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Okay, we're running out of time. Let me speed it up. The perfection gap. I have to find the best way before I start. Yeah, that was me up to the other day. I mean, every time I become aware, every time I have the 5 A's moment, that's what I call it, my 5 A's moment. Every time I become aware of something, I acknowledge it, I accept it, and I adjust accordingly. Okay? The perfection gap will forever be there. Nothing is ever going to be perfect. There is going to be something every time that we can get better and better because we are forever evolving. Think about that. The inspiration gap. I don't feel like it. Oh, I've heard that one before. I don't feel like it. I was gonna go to the gym, but I didn't feel like it. I was gonna do this and I didn't feel like it. But I didn't feel like it. If you don't feel like it, you'll never do it. But guess what? If you just do it, maybe you'll feel like it. You get it? When you make the decision, you make the decision that you don't need no one to motivate you. That come hell or high water, this is what you're doing. You made the decision. You put it on your calendar. Your calendar tells you what to do because you put it there. You don't negotiate with your feelings about what you got on your calendar. And that's a no-no. Do not negotiate with your feelings about what you have on your calendar. Because your feelings will have you jacking up what you had on your calendar. And it will have you out of integrity. And when you're out of integrity, you'll be disempowered. You'll be sitting there sucking your thumb, boo-hooing somewhere. It's not worth it. No. Just keep your integrity, do what's on your calendar, and you'll see that the motivation is going to come from internal because motivation comes from momentum. If you have momentum, you will definitely have motivation. And you want momentum? Just do it. Just like Nike. Number 7, the comparison gap. Please, my people, mi gente. Oye, ven para acá. No esté comparándote a ti con nadie. Okay? Don't be comparing yourself with nobody. Okay? Don't be comparing yourself with nobody. We don't compare. No. You cannot compare because it's not another you. There's not another you. Not even the you from yesterday you can compare. Don't you dare even go back and compare her from yesterday to her today. We don't do that. The last one, the expectation gap. I thought it would be easier than this. Oh, any of us that are parents would know. It looks so cute, and we thought it was going to be easier than this. We didn't think that life was really going to tap that booty and that we weren't going to get no sleep for the rest of our life. The expectation gap. No, seriously, is the expectation gap is thinking that you're going to do something one time and then you're going to just, everything's going to change and be rainbow and glitter overnight. It's not. It's a process. Those habits, those limiting beliefs, those things that we have in our mind have been over the years. we now get to have the tools to be intentional, to be able to grow out of those situations, to grow out of those mindsets, to grow out of the limiting beliefs, to grow out of those traps, to grow out of being in the assumption gap, the knowledge gap, the timing gap, the mistake gap, the perfection gap, the inspiration gap, the comparison gap, or the expectation gap. To me, all those gaps equals excuses. These is more to me like excuses, and he's nice and he says gap, but really it's the assumption gap. It's really the excuse that I hear people always say. Okay, I don't know how. It's not the right time. I'm afraid of making a mistake. So he calls them gaps, right? And the reason why it's funny because he calls them gaps, and I have a saying that I always say, and it says excuses. Excuses are monuments to build bridges to nowhere, and people who use them become masters of nothing, right? So imagine a monument of an excuse, building a bridge to nowhere. So the assumption gap is that gap, because here's the bridge to nowhere, and it's a gap between where you want to grow to is your goals, your consistency, your discipline that then helps you reach your goals. So preparation, growth plus attitude plus opportunity plus action. Faith without works is dead, bro. I can't. It's even biblical. You can't get away from that. Okay, doing something about it equals luck. That's what luck is. You ready? You want to know the equivalent of luck? How to get lucky? Preparation, good attitude, opportunity, action equals luck. That's how you get lucky. There's no luck, mi gente. There's no luck. There's no luck. Now, I want to do an exercise with you guys because this is the workshop. This is what we usually do at our workshop. And what I want to do for you is right here. Okay. I want you to, if you can, because you don't have this worksheet, you can just get a piece of paper and fold it in half. And after you fold it in half, let me know in the comments that you did that so that I can see that you did that. Thank you. You are the best.
Hot.
It's very hot. Okay.
Yeah.
My tea, my cup of positivity. Okay. So, I hope you got your paper. And on one side, I want you to put accidental growth. And the other side, I want you to put intentional growth. So this is what I want you guys to see. If you can see that. Okay. So we're going to go with one side of your paper is going to be intentional growth. And the other side is going to be accidental growth. Okay. So accidental growth is first. And then intentional growth is second. And then the line is 1 through 10. See that? The line is 1 through 10. Let me show you up here first. See? And then right here. All right? So 0 through 10. And the line through 1 through 10. I don't know why they put 0, but plans to start tomorrow. Right? That's accidental growth. My plans are to start tomorrow. Intentional growth is insist on starting now. So 1 through 10, where are you? Are you at a planning to start tomorrow and you're like, that's you all day, every day, and twice on Sunday? Or are you someone who insists on starting now and you're like, you know what, 1 through 10, I'm at that 10. I'm ready to start now. Great. Fantastic. Wait for growth to come. That's accidental growth. 1 through 10. Okay. Learns before mistakes. Takes responsibility to grow. 1 through 10. That's intentional growth. Okay. Now let's go back to accidental growth. Depends on good luck. Good luck with that. On 1 through 10, where are you in your life depending on luck? Are you one of those people that buys those lottery tickets? No judgment. I'm just saying, then that's you. You're depending on luck. It is what it is. Or are you an intentional growth? Relies on hard work. 1 through 10. Do you rely on hard work? Okay. So now we go back to the accidental growth. 1 through 10. Quit early and often. 1 through 10. Do you quit early and often? That's an accidental growth. Now let's go back to the intentional growth. Preserves long and hard. Perseveres long and hard. Do you persevere long and hard? 1 through 10. Which 1 through 10, which one are you in the sense of persevering long and hard? So let's go back to accidental growth. Falls into bad habits. 1 through 10. How easily do you fall into bad habits? Now let's go back to intentional growth. Fights for good habits. Fights for habits that serves you. 1 through 10. Where are you? Where you fight? That you fight for good habits? 1 through 10. Okay, let's go back to accidental growth. Talks big. You talk a good game. I'm from New York, so we used to say you talk about it, but you gonna be about it? Are you about it? Ah. Are you about it, or are you just talking about it? 1 through 10, accidental growth. You just a big talker, or are you an intentional growth and you follow through and you keep your word and you have integrity? Listen, you can't lie to nobody but yourself. This is between you and God, you and your paper. I don't see your paper. That's between you and your God. Accidental growth between 1 and 10 plays it safe. Between 1 and 10, how are you at accidental growth? Are you playing it safe? Between 1 and 10, what would you say? And then for intentional growth, you take risks. Between 1 and 10, how much of a risk taker are you? Accidental growth, and we're almost done. The last two after this. Thinks like a victim. Thinks like a victim. 1 through 10 in accidental growth. If you think like a victim, which one are you? Between 1 through 10. And in intentional growth, which one are you? Thinks like a learner. Between 1 and 10. Are you a 6? Are you a 5? Are you a 4? Are you a 10? Do you think like a learner? Between 1 and 10, which one are you? Relies on talent for the accidental growth. Are you relying on your talent? Let me tell you, if you was to know how big you would be if you was to put that extra 20%, because a lot of us, and I say us, me included, we ride on our talent because we're so talented that I remember when my college days, right? I would put that baby together and the night before and turn in my grade like nobody's business. And my teacher told me one time, she said, my professor said, if you was to put more effort, this wouldn't be a C. This would be an A. Right? Give me 20%. Give me your A game. What areas in your life are you showing up as a C student? Think about it. Where areas in your life are you just pure talent? Between 1 through 10, where are you at? And intentional growth relies on character. You see, and character is not personality. No, character is not personality, because personality will get you in the door, and lack of character will get you kicked out. Okay? Character is developed. Character is developed. The characteristics that I go by is the fruits of the spirit. Okay? Love, peace, patience, kindness, long suffering, self-discipline, joy, meekness, faithfulness. That molds your character. That allows you to go into any place at any space at any time because of your character. And who you are truly says a lot about who you are. Last one, stops learning after graduation. That's accidental help. People kill me where they telling these kids that after just get your high school diploma and that's it. My dude, you don't gotta go to college, of course not, but there's so much ways of learning. And even after college, just You never stop learning. Around here, we say you grow until you go. Until the good Lord calls you, you will still grow. And then intentional growth is never stop learning. Never stop learning. Never stop learning. So ask yourself the question, because I'm going to sum it up for you, is are you growing with intention, or are you just accidentally growing old? Are you just growing old just to get some wrinkles on your face? Or are you really going to be growing old with some wisdom and some maturity so you can help disciple someone else? Right? So, reviewing the gaps, ask yourself which of these gaps are presented the greatest, has presented the greatest challenge for you. Okay? So we went over to the 8 gaps. Which one do you see yourself having the greatest challenge? Is it the assumption gap? I assume I will automatically grow. The knowing gap, I don't know how to grow. Maybe it's the timing gap. It's not the right time to grow. Maybe it's the mistake gap. I'm afraid of growing. The perfection gap. I have to find the best way before I can start growing. The inspiration gap. I don't feel like growing. Or is it the comparison gap? Others are better than I am. Or is it the expectation gap? I thought it would be easier than this. Those are 8 gaps. Gaps. There's gaps. There's 8 of them. Which one did resonated with you more? Which one are you going to grow to work at with intention so that you can be able to close that gap and be able to build that bridge that's going to cross you over to where it is you want to grow? That's my time. That is my time. Till next time, Mind Your Mind Workshop is every Monday at 7:30 p.m. You can catch me on social media, but definitely you want to register, because if you register, we have the private Zoom link where we can actually go into these questions and I can hear your response and I can coach you one-on-one, and you deserve that. So next Mind Your Mind Workshop, register next Monday. In order for you to register, you go to thanksformed.com/mind, and you'll be able to register for next week's workshop. And then also the mastermind class of the book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. I want you guys to join this mastermind class because you deserve it. If you really want to grow in your personal and professional life and have success in every area of your life, in your health and your wealth and your faith, in your family and relationships, everywhere, every area of your life, these 15 laws of growth are definitely. This was just law number 1, and you've seen how we tore it apart. You saw how deep we got. We saw that in just one law, there are 8 gaps that are restraining us from getting to where we want to grow to, our goals, our aspirations, our purpose, our destiny. There's gaps that are in the way. I want to help you fill those gaps. Come to the mastermind class. There's so much more to grow. You're going to love it. I'm telling you, you're going to be forever altered in who you know yourself to be. Transformation is inevitable. So sign up for that mastermind class, and that's in thanksformed.com/15 laws. I love you guys. Take care. I hope this was helpful. If it was helpful for you, you know what to do. Like, share, comment, share the love. If it blessed you, it's definitely going to bless someone else, because God's word is timeless, and whatever he puts forth through his vessel will not return void. Shalom.